Now this guy on the right, he was one of the first people who joined Father Arnold when he started this way back in 1875. Remember where you were in 1875? I wasn't here. God hadn't thought of me yet, right? So it was a few years ago, 140 years ago. But way back in 1875 when we were started, this guy Joseph comes along and he says, you know what? I feel God calling me to be a missionary just like that. So Joseph goes out and he is our first missionary who goes overseas. Now I realize everyone can't see the picture really well, but for those of you who can see it, might you guess what country do you think that Joseph went to here based on the way he's dressed and kind of the building behind him?
Japan.
Very close.
China.
China. He goes to China.
Way to go, Christian.
Okay, it's 1879. He goes to China from Europe, our home, our beginnings. And guess what? He gets to China. Do you think he likes it?
No.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't speak Chinese. The food is too spicy. The weather's too hot. It's too cold. People look at him. He looks at them. And they're like, what am I doing here? So he writes back to Arnold and he says, you know what? I think this whole missionary thing is like a mistake. I don't know what I'm doing here. And Arnold says, well, you know what? You just got to the other side of the world. You might need to give it some time and some thought. You might need to persevere and to pray about it. And guess what? Joseph did. And he spent the next and last 29 years of his life in China until the day he died. He dressed like the Chinese. He came to speak the Chinese language. He came to so love the Chinese people that it said before he died, he was quoted as saying that he wanted to be Chinese in heaven. He didn't just want to eat with chopsticks. He didn't just want to eat, kung pao chicken. He wanted to be Chinese. I think about it. He came to so love the people, he wanted to become one of them. He just didn't want to help them and serve them. And think how that's connected to Jesus, how the Word became flesh and lived among us. And Jesus walked in the shoes of our life, and Jesus lived in our skin, we could say. Jesus came to be like us, so that Jesus loved us that much that he wanted to become one of us. It's kind of an interesting clue of how we're called to live. Well, Divine Word is for young men, or young at heart, who want to serve God in this way. But guess what? Father Arnold thought that the mission isn't just for the guys in the room. So young ladies, take note. Excuse me. Can I have one of you move up here, please? With the red? Okay, thanks. It's kind of distracting, so thank you. All right, just right up here. Thank you. All right, so for the young women in the room, guess what? Father Arnold believed the mission is for you too. So he started not one, but two communities of sisters. The one community goes out on mission, just like we do, all around the world. And the other group stays home and they pray before Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament so that the needs of God's people will be heard and our prayers will be answered. I mean, sometimes think about the fact I don't have enough time to pray. There are sisters right now kneeling before Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament praying for you and me. And we actually call them the Pink Sisters. You can't tell this is pink here. It looks more purple maybe. But they actually wear a pink colored habit or outfit, and it has a stripe of white. Oh, I don't know if you've seen them. You've probably seen pictures. But if you Google Pink Sisters, you'll see them, okay? So mission is for women too. And so just to encourage you to be open to how it is that God might be calling you. So if you put all three of these together, Divine Word, Holy Spirit Sisters, and the Adoration Sisters, there are 10,000 men and women in this family of communities who've committed our lives to serving God in this way. Specifically Divine Word, there are over 6,000 of us. I grew up in a family of 6 kids, and I'm now a member of a family